Ever blank on a key number mid-meeting or lose your point right when you need to be sharpest? If you're a leader experiencing these moments of brain fog, you are not alone. And it's not a character flaw. It's a physiological experience that affects even the highest performing executives. And today we are reclaiming your power with 3 clear strategies. In fact, right before I sat down to record this for you, I started experiencing some brain fog myself. And I was not going to miss being on time with episode 1 of the Periperformance Mastery series on brain fog for you today. So I implemented 2 of these strategies I'm about to share with you, and I feel so much better and totally ready to dive in. Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Churchill, an executive performance coach with 19 years of experience working with C-suite leaders at global companies. And in that time, I have helped over 400 executives transform their performance despite experiencing cognitive challenges like brain fog, particularly those women navigating perimenopause and also leaders in high-stress leadership positions. In fact, one of my clients who works as a chief medical officer at a pharmaceutical company was struggling with brain fog during her board presentations. And despite decades of medical expertise, she found herself forgetting key statistics and stumbling through presentations. And after implementing the core strategies I will share with you today, not only did these episodes nearly disappear, but she also received feedback that her executive presence had dramatically improved. Today, I'm going to share my 3 most powerful strategies for transforming brain fog into brain power. These aren't just theoretical, they're the exact same techniques not only I use, but my highest performing clients use to maintain razor sharp mental clarity, even during the most challenging leadership moments. As I said, this is episode 1 of 20 in the Perimenopause Performance Series. And don't forget, as I mentioned in the introduction episode, there is a free assessment in the description below that you can access to really understand where you are in terms of your symptoms and how they are impacting your performance. So don't forget to go check that out. But before we dive in, here's a reflection point that I really want you to consider. These strategies won't just help you manage brain fog, they will likely amplify your leadership beyond your previous high-performing baseline. And do you know why I can say that pretty confidently? It's because, let's face it, most leaders, even highly effective ones, don't prepare for most meetings in this kind of strategic way, often due to the relentless pace that we are working at today. Therefore, when you intentionally integrate these approaches into your rhythm, you're setting yourself up to likely outperform your previous best. So let's go. Let's dive in. And so with that potential in mind, let's cover our 3 game-changing approaches. First, how to externalize your brilliance with the Cognitive Command Center. And second, how to master the strategic pause using the Precision Pause protocol that I'll share with you today. And third, how to optimize your brain's performance rhythms with the Neural Prime System. So excited. Can't wait for you to implement these. First, let's understand what's actually happening during brain fog episodes. Many high-performing leaders, especially women executives ages 35 to 55, experience these cognitive challenges due to a perfect storm of factors. First, the physiological impact. Hormonal fluctuations, particularly during perimenopause, directly affect brain function, specifically memory retrieval and processing speed. This isn't weakness, it's neuroscience. Second, the reality of leadership pressure is real. In leadership positions, we inherently tax our cognitive resources with constantly making decisions. And let's be honest about our current work culture. Most leaders today simply don't prepare effectively for meetings because they are scheduled relentlessly back to back, often leaving absolutely no white space for adequate preparation or crucial mental renewal breaks. This relentless pace, combined with the pressure of high-stakes environments, makes your working memory even more vulnerable, especially when physiological changes like perimenopause are also at play. And lastly, we dive into this confidence spiral. Each brain fog episode can trigger anxiety about future performance, creating a self-reinforcing cycle that actually increases the likelihood of recurrence. The problem isn't just the momentary embarrassment. The real impact is actually that brilliant leaders with invaluable expertise start holding back in meetings, second guessing themselves in their contribution, and sometimes even stepping away from leadership roles precisely when their wisdom is most needed. Therefore, the foundational first step, even before we detail the specific tools, is recognizing the non-negotiable need for dedicated preparation time. The first thing I would suggest is ensuring your calendar allows for this. Protecting even 15 to 20 minutes before important engagements is essential to leverage the 3 strategic tools I'm about to share with you. Because if you make the space for and implement these 3 strategies, you will propel your leadership beyond where you are now. In addition to actively preserving your confidence that cognitive fatigue will try to steal. Now let's solve this with 3 high-impact strategies that work immediately while addressing the root causes. I would suggest getting out a pad and paper if you aren't driving and take down some notes. You can also come back to this and read the transcript or rewatch it when you can take some notes. The first strategy is about creating your cognitive command center. Essentially, like I said, externalizing your brilliance. Because you're brilliant. Think about it. World-class airline pilots use checklists, not because they lack skill, but because they respect the complexity of their mission and demand precision. You're doing the same for your leadership. This involves creating one elegant, trusted external system, whether it's a professional leather folio or a streamlined digital document that you bring to high-stakes meetings or presentations. Inside, you prepare your precision brief, a single page holding the absolute essentials for that specific event. That can include 3 to 5 critical numbers or data points you must have, notes on key people involved and their priorities, your 1 to 3 non-negotiable message points. And for presentations, you might add simple trigger words here that activate your expertise rather than relying on a full script. And here is the revolutionary part. You display it openly. You do not hide this. When you need to reference a detail, you simply pause confidently and say, I prioritize precision. So let me refer to my exact figures on that. This instantly transforms a potential moment of memory lapse into a powerful demonstration of your commitment to accuracy and preparation. Another one of my clients actually used this before a crucial board presentation. She delivered flawlessly, and afterwards, the CEO specifically commended her impressive command of details. She wasn't hiding her notes. She was showcasing her preparation via her command center. I just love that. Here's a simple action step for you to take. Create your reusable precision brief template today. Just create sections for key data, key people, and your key message, and then put that on repeat and use it in every high-stakes meeting or presentation that you have. Let's dive into strategy number 2, the precision pause protocol. I love this one. I use this one all the time myself. It teaches you how to master the strategic pause. This transforms those moments when your mind goes blank from potential embarrassments into powerful demonstrations of executive presence. When you feel the fog, like I did today, descending, or you lose your train of thought, the core action is simple. Take a deliberate pause, just 3 to 5 seconds. Maintain relaxed eye contact if you are in a conversation, and maybe take a sip of water if you have it accessible. The pause isn't awkwardness, it's control. Like you want to reframe it that way. It gives your brain a crucial moment to reset. Then instead of stumbling, you deploy a clarity bridge, a phrase that maintains your authority while you gather your thoughts or you glance at your command center. And here are 2 very powerful options. The first is called the precision bridge. Let me be sure I give you the exact figure on this. This allows you to confidently consult your notes. The alternate bridge is the perspective bridge. That's an important point. However, the most relevant aspect for our discussion is, and then you fill in the blank. This buys you time and allows you to steer towards a point that you can recall clearly, if this makes sense in the context. And like many times, this happens to me, the information genuinely just isn't there. Use the confident clarification. That's an excellent question that deserves a precise answer. I'll verify that specific detail and follow up with you directly within an hour. And then you deliver on that promise swiftly and thoroughly. This approach doesn't just mask brain fog, it reframes the moment. A VP client used this during a tense investor Q&A, and afterwards, and those are intense. Afterwards, she received feedback praising her thoughtful, measured responses, which showed her impressive depth. Her strategic pause was perceived as deliberation and not difficulty. So, a simple action step for you to take. Practice taking a deliberate 3-second pause before answering your next complex question in a low stakes meeting this week. Practice this in low stakes opportunities so that you're ready for those high stakes moments. And lastly, the third, which I love and is actually my most favorite, it's the neural prime system. It's about proactively optimizing your brain's performance rhythms. The whole world moves on rhythms. And so we want to really harness the energy of our natural rhythms. What it does is it moves you from reacting to brain fog to strategically managing your cognitive energy, leveraging neuroscience for peak performance. And this has 2 simple parts. The first part is really understanding your performance energy. You want to map your energy for 5 to 7 days. Simply notice and jot down when you feel most mentally sharp and focused. For example, rating clarity on a 1 to 10 in the morning, midday, or afternoon. And then identify your personal prime windows where you feel most energized and your thoughts feel clear. And whenever possible, schedule your most demanding cognitive tasks like critical meetings, any kind of complex analysis, and major presentations within your control, of course, during these peak performance windows. And the second is really about resetting your physical energy. I like to call this your pre-performance power-up. So before critical moments, implement a customizable 30-minute routine that can include key elements like brief, vigorous movement, like walking up and down stairs to boost brain flow to the brain, and then focused breathing, as an example, alternating nostril breathing, like that, to balance brain activity. This actually really works so well. And then quickly review your command center brief and then check in with your team to make sure the final tech checks are all set to go. And the last piece to this is the 90-second neural reset. Oftentimes, brain fog is unexpected throughout the day, so use this quick physiological intervention. Perform the 4-7-8 breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. So let's do that together right now. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just doing that calmed me down. I was getting a little nervous here. This calms your nervous system. It literally changes the way your nervous system feels. And lastly, I love this one. I do this anytime before I get on a Zoom or I'm in an in-person meeting. I go stand by myself and do a power posture for 60 seconds to reduce stress hormones. Really engage in your core and feel confident. And lastly, make sure you drink a glass of water to combat cognitive impacts of dehydration. Literally, a dehydrated brain is a low performing brain. So hydration actually expands those neural pathways that help contribute to recall and memory. Of course, I want to share a success story here with you. One executive client started scheduling her quarterly board presentations during her identified morning peak window and consistently used the power up routine. Presentation anxiety almost vanished, and her board chair noted her exceptional command of complex material, even under pressure. So a simple action step for you. Identify one important task this week you can consciously schedule during a time you usually feel more focused. So in conclusion, these 3 strategies, the externalizing your brilliance with your cognitive command center, mastering the strategic pause with the precision pause protocol, and optimizing your brain's performance rhythms with the neural prime system. They all work together synergistically. They aren't just coping mechanisms, they are performance enhancers that allow your true leadership brilliance to shine through consistently. Remember, the highest performing professionals do not rely on flawless memory alone. They build robust systems, like surgeons with their protocols or pilots with their checklists, to ensure flawless execution, regardless of momentary fluctuations. One of my clients shared with me after implementing these strategies, she said, I used to feel like an imposter whenever brain fog hit. Now I feel more confident than ever because I'm not relying on perfect cognitive performance, but she's relying on perfect systems. Systems can change everything. Your immense leadership value comes from your accumulated wisdom, your sound judgment, and your deep expertise. These strategies simply ensure those qualities are always accessible and impactful, regardless of hormonal shifts or daily pressures. So how do you pinpoint exactly which aspects of perimenopause are impacting your unique leadership profile the most right now, and which strategies will give you the quickest wins? As I said earlier in the episode, to help you, I've created the Executive Perimenopause Performance Assessment. It's completely free and designed specifically for leaders like you. Taking this brief assessment will help you identify your most significant perimenopausal related leadership challenges and discover which protocols and episodes in this mastery series will be most immediately beneficial for you. You can find the link to take the free assessment right now in the description below this video. Use your results to strategically navigate the series. Additionally, if you want to specifically explore the energy optimization strategies we touched upon with the neural prime system, I've also included a link in the description to access my energy mapping call as an additional resource. Remember, this transition doesn't diminish your capacity. It's an opportunity to adapt and lead with even greater effectiveness. So take the assessment today to get started. And look forward to episode 2, where I tackle sleep disturbances and its impact on leadership performance. And I will give you clear strategies to help mitigate those derailers despite your sleep patterns or your sleep quality. Please come back. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon.